Right, welcome back. This is Developer Log Episode 1 Design Stuff. Okay, so in our intro, Episode 0, we kind of went over what the game's going to be about and what we're going to do with it. So in this episode, we're going to get into some design stuff. Like what is that and why should we care? And also, the biggest question of all that I've seen on the internet people ask is like, where to start? Well, while I was going to college, I have a degree in electronic engineering. I was going to school with a whole bunch of game design people, and when I asked them the same question, they told me you need a design document. And then I said, well, what is this design document? And then the guy gave me a template. Well, of course, this was years ago. Years ago, I don't have that template anymore. But that was the best advice he can give me is like start with design documents, learn everything in design documents, and then once you get your design document, you'll be able to pitch your game to a company, and if the company likes you, voila, you're in the money. Well, not quite. So you ask, what is a design document? All right, let's go ahead and open this up. It's basically kind of like a Word document, just like a regular document you would think it would be. I found this one on the internet. This is like one of the best ones I've seen. I mean, they could be better, they could be worse, but you know, if you're gonna be professional, I mean, just pick whichever one you like. I mean, there's so many different kind of formats or whatever, but I like this one the best. This one looks pretty cool, and this one was made by this guy here. I found. So, design documents, overview, all this good stuff. You want to have a nice little, I forgot what you call this, list, optional list items. So that's always helpful. And there we go. Okay, so we got the design document down. Now we jump to kind of like the fun stuff. I like modeling and stuff. So this is how like I thought I would start this game, but it doesn't really. This would be kind of like the linear system would be more something for like Super Mario Brothers, because you start out in like the title screen or whatever, then it jumps you into Module One. It's like do 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 do, and then it plays a little song, and now you're off to the races. So Module One would be like level 1-1. Once you beat the castle and hit the flag, you go to 1-2, etc. Once you place here, or once you're placed here, then you go into the end, go through the pipes or whatever. Now you go to 1-3, etc. And then up to n number of levels. Then once you get to the final level, you go to the boss battle. Then once you beat the boss battle, you go to the end game. So that's pretty much like a linear system from A to B. But what I'm going to be doing is a hub type system. We're going to start off in the cemetery middle here, and we have the option from doing like quests and stuff to go to the module areas. So like the first module area is going to be locked, and you're going to have to open it up by doing quests and stuff for little people and like little skeleton people or whatever skeleton animals in the cemetery. Then once once you do the quest to open up module one, you get to go to module one area, which is like a whole nother level, right? So, and these arrows indicate that you can go from the cemetery to module one and then back to the cemetery, because the cemetery is pretty much going to be like your go-to place, because it's going to have like the shops where you buy all your weapons and magic stuff and potions or whatever. So you're going to be going back and forth. Like if you get stuck in an area, you can just come back to the cemetery, regroup, repair your stuff if there's a repair cost. I haven't decided on that yet, and then buy items. Go back into module area one, do your stuff. Come back, do my quests. Now module two is unlocked. Then we'll go into module two area, do module two, beat the boss, come down. Same thing, do some quests, go into the next area, come down, up until however many modules you're done. Then there's going to be a condition system that checks in the game manager. It says if all the modules are completed, the boss battle area it gets unlocked. So if that's the case, we go from the cemetery all the way to the boss battle area. Then we're going to do some quests in here. Then once that's done, we can go to the boss battle. So now this is conditional. If you lose or die during the boss battle, you go back to the cemetery. Then you just got to come back around here, initiate the boss battle again, and now you're in the boss battle. If you win in the boss battle, you get to the end game credits, and then you beat the game. So that's pretty much that. So nice little. It's rudimentary. I mean, I'm sure, like if you're actually pitching a game, you probably want to do this a lot better. But I mean, some people who are indie devs don't even do this. I've seen them on their YouTube videos. They're like, "Oh, hey, let's just jump in this gung ho. I didn't design anything. We're just gonna do ad hoc, just yada yada yada." But for me, what I like to do, I'm a little OCD. I wanna have a goal. Like I want to have a structure. I want to be grounded in what I'm doing. So that way, if I lose track or I get off track, I can come back and say, okay, yeah, this is what I have to do. I have to do this, and then I have to do this, and then this, and then this is what I have to do, and that's how I win. It's basic. It's pretty simple. I mean, just having this little structure here keeps you on track. It helps a lot. So, game systems. We have our user interface slash HUD, which is the top of the screen. It's going to have your health bars. It's going to have like whatever items. I don't know, like a sword for attacking or whatever. It's going to have that out there. And then the game manager, which is hidden, it's invisible, it's a background process. It's going to control pretty much the aspect of the game. So everything from the game manager, like your current health, your current score, what items you have, are going to be sent as output to the interface HUD. And then when you make a click on an object on the HUD or user interface, it's going to go right to the command interface. And then it's going to say, okay, our character, we're going to move it, because this is going to have move control, or initiate combat. So once you get into combat, your command interface is going to send a message to the battle manager and say, do we have an enemy? And then it's going to flag the area and say, okay, boom, enemy. It's going to say back how much health the enemy has and everything. And then your commands are going to be like, okay, so we have 4 options. You have attack, defend, items, or run. So if you hit attack on the user interface, then come down to the command interface. Command interface is going to say he attacked. Now it's going to go to the battle manager, and then the battle manager is going to say, was it your turn to attack? Because this is going to be a turn-based RPG. So it's going to check and say, is it your turn to attack? If not, wait until the enemy's done. Then once the enemy's done with his attack, it's going to send a probe to the battle manager and say, I'm done with my attack. Switch out, toggle, if you will, and let the hero or let the villain slash hero, whatever we are, attack. So now we already have a command queued to attack, and then it's going to attack the enemy, and then vice versa. Then it's going to check. The enemy is going to check and say, did that attack hurt me? No. Send back my health. Then the battle manager is going to have health, whatnot, whatever. I mean, I don't want to get too much into details with this, but because this is like kind of like an abstract, if I could talk today, abstract concept. So like our villain can talk to NPCs, which then the NPC will send data to the game manager. Like say for instance, if you're running around like the cemetery and you find a character, you can talk to it, and then if you talk to it a certain number of times, the NPC can send a flag to the game manager that says, unlock phase 1 of like a secret or something, because he talked to me 3 times, so it unlocks that part. So if you talk to another NPC, it sends the second part, etc. So you can do a lot of cool things by having like a game manager like this and whatnot. I mean, I think you kind of need to have one. I'm not quite sure how a lot of other big indie or big game systems do it. They probably have something like this. I'm not sure what they call it, but this is what I've seen it called, so that's what I'm going to call it, because this is like a small project. It's just going to be me, or for right now, coding this. So yeah, that's, my game area model, and that's my game systems model. So, alright, so design stuff. Where to start, design document, and I guess I should put here, abstract models of game systems. Okay. So then we got number 2, which is I showed you what my abstract gameplay and mechanics are. Oh, right. So overview of phase 1 tasks. So now that we're in like phase 1, let's go to my tasks. So we have design info done. I guess I could say we're going to put that one in as finished. Create the point of the game. Okay, yeah, we kind of did that. And I will actually, you know what? The point of the game. Yeah, let me open up this before we do anything. This is my design doc. I forgot to kind of show you this. So our design information, our overview. It's a South Park Stick of Truth clone. Not an exact clone, because I do not want to copy South Park. And if I do end up changing my mind and I end up giving this, or end up charging maybe like $5 or something for the game, I don't want South Park to come back and say, hey, you know what, he just copied our game. So I'm going to copy aspects of the game, but I'm not going to copy it verbatim. So it's going to be an RPG turn-based game. There's going to be respawnable monster encounters. So say for instance, if you go to one area like in a cemetery, there's going to be like bandits robbing graves and stuff. You got to like stop them, or you can just choose to walk away. If you do decide to beat the bandits, they will wait like 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and then they'll respawn again at a different spot randomly in the graveyard. Because I like RPGs. I like having mob encounters to level up, like over level up, so I can be over prepared for certain things. So we're gonna have that in there, and it's gonna be a side-scrolling game. So the project scope. Okay. First time on this type of project. Not sure about timescale. That's pretty accurate. So I have no idea when things need to be done, milestones, all that other stuff. I have no idea when I'm gonna be doing things like that, because this isn't like I'm not getting paid for this. So this is going to be something I'm doing on my own free will. So it's just get so yeah, it gets done when I get done with it. So I mean, I'm going to try and do at least 2 or 3 of these videos a week, and I'm going to be doing a lot of behind the scenes game stuff, because I don't know. This isn't necessarily a tutorial, but I don't mind showing how to do certain things if later people come back and say, hey, I want to see how to do this. I want to see how you did that. I can go back and say, okay, this is how I did it. I can go over it and stuff. So I don't know. We'll kind of like adapt to that as we're going along. Especially like with art, I'm gonna time lapse art, because I'm not gonna force you to sit there for like 4 hours as I do characters or backgrounds or whatever, because that'd be kind of boring. That'd be kind of dumb. So I'll time lapse it. That way you'll only see 20 minutes for me doing all my art and stuff. So, potential Unity professional software. Yeah, I mean that's $500+ for. Okay, when I make a game and release it, since I'm using the free version of Unity, it's gonna say powered by Unity in the front of it. I gotta pay like $500+ for the professional version license to get that message taken away. So at this point, I really don't care, because I'm not gonna shell out that kind of money for something that I'm unsure I'm gonna even get to. So, but that's why I'm doing this video and this vlog, because I'm gonna try and force myself to finish this game. So hopefully, between donations and maybe if I kickstart or whatever, we'll get that money for that. So, and then potential Steam fees. Like I've really looked into getting on Steam as a developer and uploading a game or whatever. So I don't really know the restrictions on it, and I have no idea how much it's going to cost either. So I'm just leaving that as unknown for now. And again, I might just end up running Kickstarter for both of these costs. So that way, I mean, even if I do end up releasing the game for free, I'll still probably need to Kickstarter these costs. So, influences. South Park: The Stick of Truth. Okay, the elevator pitch. Hey, how's it going, Bob? Nice to see you. So I hear you're a venture capitalist. I am. I'm making a game. It's a South Park Stick of Truth clone with dead animals and villains as the main characters. Bob, oh, that's great. Blah, blah, blah. There you go. That's pretty much it. That's your elevators. That's my elevator pitch. If I were to go to like a video game conference, that's what I'd be saying. So, and it's pretty much, that says everything. Because he gets in his head, it's a South Park clone, but you got dead animal villains as the main characters, and that's all he needs to see is South Park with dead animal villains. And if he's any fan of South Park or any fan of like the genre or the type of games, he'll instantly like fall in love with that. So, core gameplay and mechanics: turn-based combat system, random enemy encounters, mouse click interface for movement and control of character/game objects. That's a big one. Sandbox overworld centralizing with a main hub area. That's another big one. So, story. The heroes of the area slayed the monster demons and dead things. That's brief. The necromancer resurrects animals to fight his battles against the heroes. That's us. That's where we come in. So I'm going to have like a screen in the opening after you pick your character, and it's going to show a necromancer resurrecting you out of your grave. You're going to come out and he's going to tell you, go kill, get revenge on the heroes, or whatever his voice is going to be. Or I might not do any voice acting work because it'll probably be me and it'll probably sound horrible because I'm nasally and like shit. So I'll probably just end up doing text. But yeah, that's the story. So I'm sticking to it. Gameplay. So how's this going to work? We're going to start out the game in the cemetery. Right? We're going to run around the cemetery getting quests and doing tasks. Quests and tasks lead to main areas where you fight mini-bosses. After all the mini-bosses are dead, you can get into the main boss area. Complete the main boss area quest to open up the boss battle area. Defeat the boss to complete the game. Sounds pretty simple, right? But in the end, it's going to be pretty complicated because I have to implement all that. So, some basic assets. 3 main villain characters, 5 mini-boss characters, because I'm thinking I'm just going to do 5 little areas or whatever. And then I got to create a whole bunch of types of minions, like each one of these boss areas is going to have one unique minion, and I'm probably going to copy a lot of mobs or minions from the other areas just to fill, battles and stuff. Then I got to create a cemetery map. Then we got to do 5 map areas for all the mini bosses, so we have to actually create the areas, the arts, the backgrounds, and all that kind of stuff, and the foregrounds. Then we got to do a main boss area map, a final boss area map, because once you're in the main area, you're doing the quests, and then you're going to get teleported to the final boss area. Then so you got to have a map for that and all that. And then basically sounds for everything, because who wants to play a game that doesn't have sounds? So yeah, that's pretty much my design information. These are my tasks, and this is going to take me a while, because look at all this art stuff I got to do. Oh boy. So yeah, and that pretty much wraps it up. That's my overview of phase 1. My next video, I'm gonna probably, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it. I'm thinking of, if I'm gonna do all these art assets, I'm thinking I might do side videos and just include them as art asset videos, like supplementary to the episode logs, right? Because this is episode 1. This is me just going over all the stuff. So I'm thinking of just keeping the developer log of me going over all the stuff, and then if I do any code on like stuff or art stuff, I might just do them as supplementary videos in between. So yeah, but I'll think about that more, and then once I get started on the drawings and stuff, I'll figure it out, and then you will know in episode 2. Alright, thanks for watching.